deep behind enemy lines, in the holes of Snake Mountain, where many villains gather together to unite behind one ruler, one leader, one superior lord of destruction, preparing to be seated on his throne. It is none other than Battle Armor Skeletor. And it is new Eternia Battle Armor Skeletor that we will be reviewing today.
Super Dave here with another Super Dave review. Super Dave here with another Masterverse, this time a new Eternia from Wave 14. That's right, Battle Armor Skeletor is in the house. Just take a look at this awesome figure. He is looking bad to the bone. Really looks like a high quality figure here. I'm excited about really taking a look at this dude. Look at the artwork on the front. Oh man, the figure just looks so good on the inside too. I'm just stoked to look at it. There he is without the helmet. Looks like some chainmail kind of looking stuff on his head. There he is, of course, almost a full body shot with the helmet on, which is like a Havoc staff kind of, you know, horns type helmet. So that's interesting. And then take a look at the product shots on the back, showing off some of the accessories that he comes with. Just really stellar. Just take a look at that. And then there's the bio on the back. If you'd like to pause and read that now, you certainly can. And you see the other selling points. We've already done Sorceress, so go check her out if you've not already done so. And we'll be looking at Man of War and Merman coming up very shortly. But let's go ahead and break open this Battle Armor Skeletor, new Eternia, finally to go along with our new Battle Armor He-Man. So we'll check out this awesome figure right now. It has Masterverse on the top. There's the barcode if you need it. Let's go see him, of course, inside of
Snake Mountain.
And here he is, new Eternia Battle Armor Skeletor. And now, let's first take a look at his accessories. And first of all, our Skeletor comes with this awesome helmet. That's right, he has this, it's such a cool looking helmet. It lifts right off of there. It's like a Havoc staff themed helmet with the ram's horns, even textured as you can see there. Just looking so quality. The quality on this figure, man, they put a lot of their budget in this figure right here. And then you can see almost like a chainmail style covering over his head. And yes, we have articulated jaw again, which we'll look at in our articulation section. Look at those eyes, they almost glow red. They're so deep red. Then he's got his Battle Armor crest chest piece there, as well as another Battle Armor crest chest piece that is scarred and damaged. This time we get the silver gashes inside there. We didn't quite get as good a gashes like that on He-Man's, I didn't think. And then also look at this cool sword that he comes with. Very reminiscent to the Viking or Barbarian style Skeletor that we got, that was similar to the look of Demo Man, but also came with a regular classics looking head. But this sword I think has a little bit more detail possibly. And then look at this. We even get this really cool looking axe. axe with a shimmering metal metallic blade. All of it plastic, but it's got like a, looks like a wrap, a light leather off-white wrap on the handle. You can see there it's got a metallic on that pointed butt of that axe as well. But just take a look at the scars in that blade, and there's purple accents up here at the top, as well as another metallic point at the top of this cool looking axe. I really like this. I will say the first thing that came to mind is I would have loved to have gotten a version, a new Eternia version of his battle axe that had like the crystal ball on top of it with a clear ball. That would have been kind of cool, but this one is definitely cool. So I'm not complaining about it, but he is just all around excellent in every way that I can see. Now, unfortunately, he did not come with any hands, any alternate hands. He has 2 weapon holding hands, and both of them are horizontally hinged. But we're getting ready to take a closer look at this battle armor Skeletor as well as his articulation right now. And here he comes, looking awesome with that stance. He is definitely armed to the hilt, ready for battle, and he's armored very nicely with those shoulder pads and that chest armor, and even his like girdle type armor on his thighs, and some more chainmail between his legs there. And just look at that belt. He's got like a ram type insignia, the Havoc type design even on his belt there, looking awesome. Just take a look at that. A little bit of a, looks like cloth, but it's actually a soft rubber that looks like cloth hanging down there as part of the loincloth type area, but just looking stellar. Look at that, the metal looking works around the insignia on that chest plate, and then the bones, the skull, everything just looking cool. Those awesome looking shoulder pads, again with some metal rivets going along the side, then fanning out into like a segmented purple with some horns on each of the segments. Just looking so stellar here. I'm just impressed with this Skeletor. I think this is the best one we've ever gotten, and I'm even counting classics. Now, this is the typical body that we've been seeing, and we're gonna look at, bring him in a little closer and look at him right now. All right, bring our Skeletor in a little closer here. Just take a look at him. He is menacing. I mean, just amazingly detailed in every respect. I just love it. We'll go ahead and remove this sword and this axe just so that you can get a good look at this face sculpt very quickly. Move everything away. You can just get a really good look at that face. Just take a look at that. Wow. That is an excellent Skeletor face. Nothing messed up about this one. I mean, that is wickedly accurate right there. And we'll look at some comparisons, and I'll kind of explain more what I mean in a moment. But yeah, I'm just impressed. Let's go ahead and look at the back, since we didn't a moment ago. As far as our closer look, you can see again some metal looking paint workings back here to make it look like there's metal all over this back part, like a brace or a bracket type framing of this battle armor. So cool. Some more chainmail back here, really nice. All right, there was one thing that I needed to mention to you that I was definitely wrong about with this guy, and that is that you can remove his armor. And I just, looking at the sides, I didn't see any seams, so it had me really fooled. But let me show you here that right here you have a tab. It's hard to kind of get on there, but you can clip it right there. And then there's another one right here that pulls apart right there. You see it? And then you're going to be able to lift that armor off if you desire to. It will definitely come off, and you have your standard buck on the back. So I just wanted to mention that to you. All right. Looks like we're back to the classical blue skin tone. We've had different skin tones, but this looks like the classic, more the classic type blue skin tone, but the same body. I know it's the same arms and everything because we see the details, but also, you know, the newer molds all come with a larger peg. This has the smaller peg, so that lets us know that this is an older body mold for this Skeletor. But that head sculpt is definitely new, and all of his body armor, even his feet. Just take a look at those feet. They're different. They're a lot more narrow this time than what we've seen before. As you can see there, we only get 3 toes this time, and they're definitely more narrow. They're not as big, which I almost wish we had gotten the larger spread out toes, but you know, they had to make something different, so it's looking pretty cool. Just thought that was interesting that they went with the smaller feet. All right, looking at the articulation, I'll keep that helmet off for a moment. He's going to be able to look up just slightly. I'm not sure exactly what's getting in the way. I guess it's back here. The chainmail type hoodie is hitting against this battle armor, chest armor, back armor. But yeah, he's not able to look up really much at all, more or less just kind of looking straight ahead. He's going to be able to look down pretty much all the way. That looks good. That's definitely excellent. Let's see. Not really going to get much in the way of pivot. That's definitely disappointing. I wish we could get some more pivot. I guess you could force it a little bit, but you're not going to get much. But I will show you this. That jaw is articulated. It looks like they really are learning how to master it. It feels tight. It doesn't feel loose. And it doesn't like just swing open really wide and just get stuck down here. It feels like it's opening just right. And you see it's seamless too. It looks, you know, just like what a skull would do. But you can still close his mouth and it stay taut. And then you can also open it. So that is really good. I like that. Like those red eyes that are just beaming on the inside, and the way they did the nose and the black trim and the wash. Everything just looks so good. Now these are on a like tab, and technically they would be able to be removed. So, you know, you could technically get the 360, but with that on, it's so tight, you're really not going to be able to do a full 360 with this Skeletor arm here on either side without really, I guess you could technically, you know, lift it up out of the way like that and get it, but you see what I'm saying. There's no reason to go about that, but it does lift out of the way pretty good for you to be able to get your full T-pose. You're definitely going to be able to do that. Of course, we have our bicep swivel. As you can see, double jointed elbows. Let's look at this side since I have a little bit more light. On this side, double jointed elbows that get full motion there, and you have a swivel and horizontal hinge at the wrist, which is traditional. You're going to be able to swivel side to side, but you're not going to really be able to get any kind of hula hoop or bending side to side because everything is pretty much locked down because of this armor. Now see here, didn't realize this, but he's got like a new Eternia belt underneath this material, and yeah, that is removable. So let me go ahead and show you that right quick. You can remove this, and look, there's chainmail like we saw peeping out from underneath, almost like a chainmail loincloth, but it has this metal, almost gunmetal, brushed style looking new Eternia belt, which is really cool. I like that, but I also love this armor here because of the ram and just the way this all looks. I think it really fits him, and this buckle's really easy to work too. It just plugs right in. You don't have to wrestle with it or stretch it. It goes right on, and it stays on very well, and it's a very soft material, so it gets out of the way. But yeah, you're not going to be able to crunch forward with this guy at all, and you're not going to be able to crunch back or bend back at all with this fella because all of this armor is so thick and heavy, which, you know, I'll take it because even though I like articulation, I also love this design, and so if it means we get this design and it's not broken up and cut up but it looks really solid, I'll take it for this Skeletor not to be able to crunch forward as much, because as I showed you earlier, you can still get him in some cool poses. He'll still do full splits. He'll get the splits there. He's got thigh rotation. He's going to be able to kick up about that much, as you can see there. He's also got double jointed knees, so that's really good. Of course, he still has his boot cut. He's going to be able to get almost full tiptoes. It's kind of hitting on the back here, but he gets far enough. He's going to be able to go up just about all the way, so that's excellent. He's going up all the way there, and he's going to get rockers. The rockers are hitting the side, so it's not a full rocker. Might could turn it in a way out. Yeah, that's pretty much as far, but it's still enough that you can get the side stances, but it is going to block a little bit, and the same on that side because of this part that hangs down here on the side. So you are going to get some rocker, and of course he's got a peg hole on the bottom. Showed you the boot cut. So he's got the traditional older style, I'll say, Masterverse limitations. When I say that, I'm kind of meaning that, you know, you're not getting the drop down method. Well, you are. Yeah, I'm sorry. You do have the drop down method. I didn't feel it when I was going through it the first time, but it is there. Just can't see it, but I can feel it. There is a drop down method. So I guess probably if you took off this armor, we probably would get that new tripod smooth diaphragm. So but I'm not 100% sure, and I don't want to take it off. Not even sure it will come off. So I'm not going to try that right this moment. I think it's locked in. But this does remind me of classics in the sense that you have all this armor that's on top of his regular buck. So that's interesting to note here, but really nice looking. Let's go ahead and put his helmet back on here. Just take a look at that. Wow, he is just he is wicked. I mean, this guy is ready for battle. He's ready to charge his minions to go after He-Man. I want to show you also this chest piece. You just go up in here with your fingernail if you have any, and I have limited amounts of fingernail here, so I'm going to try to pull it out, but you just pull it out from the top. You could use a tool if you want to. You just pop that out, and this little skull piece actually covers up the bottom. So let me show you putting in the new piece that has the battle damage on it. What you do is you first are going to slide that behind that skull like so, just like that, and then you just press it in the mold there, and there it is. It fits really snug, so you don't have to remove the armor at all to get that in, but yet it looks seamless and it's not going to fall out. It really snugly fits in there. As you press that in, pops right into place. So that is really cool. I love that. Now you've got his battle armor showing. So that is everything. So now let's take a look at him with some other Skeletors in comparisons. All right, and here is a plethora of Skeletors. We have our very first Revelation Skeletor, which that is a custom head that has a magnetic face, which you can switch out a closed mouth face or magnetically clip in this open mouth face. But that is the original Revelation body with that skin tone, more of a almost purplish blue compared to some, and has the cape. And then we have our Viking or barbarian style Skeletor, and I do not have him equipped with his chest armor and cape, but or his Demo Man looking head. This is him in more of the classic style, but he came with that same sword that we have with our battle armor Skeletor here, except this handle is black and that handle is more of a gold color, but you can definitely see the differences there. This is more of a classic look, and this did not have a articulated mouth. Of course, this new battle armor, new Eternia battle armor Skeletor does have the articulated mouth. So did our San Diego Comic-Con 2-pack with He-Man and Skeletor 40th anniversary with metal weapons. This has a metal sword, and this Havoc staff head is metal, and he does have an articulated mouth. And this is my favorite Skeletor up until now, even when I compare it to classics. But now I believe I have found a new favorite. I would say these maybe tie for first in a sense as more in the classic style Skeletor, and this definitely wins out as for the battle armor Skeletor, and both have articulated jaws. And then we have our monkey Skeletor, our Bone Throne Skeletor, new Eternia Skeletor with the chest armor and the cape. And this one had that same chest armor and cape, except this one has the gold trim, whereas the other one didn't. But I don't know, I just did not. I know this is supposed to be more of an Alcala inspired head, but I just don't like the teeth, and I've even tried to fix it. I may need to heat it up and try fixing it again. I like the eyes, and I like this Skeletor overall, but just something about the mouth, and it is articulated jaw, but it's not my favorite face. This is my favorite face right there, these two. And then we have our Horde Skeletor, and I love that face sculpt, but that is not articulated. I like that body style, but he is looking great. Matter of fact, this Skeletor and this Skeletor have the same skin tone, same basically body, except this one had the big feet. Now I know what this is going for. I think it's going for like he's wearing metal armor boots, like a, you know, like a knight in armor style, like it's all one piece kind of look. But let me just say, if this is what his feet look like, or even if that's what his feet look like, they are really cramped inside of that boot. So it's just kind of odd in that sense, but overall I like it. It definitely goes along with the theme. It just looks like his feet are a little too small. I think I would have preferred this style personally of foot even over this. But anyway, there we have it, and there are some Skeletors to compare them to. And there is our battle armor Skeletor, new Eternia, fighting our new Eternia battle armor He-Man, and they are looking awesome. One thing I will say, if you did watch my review of this new Eternia battle armor He-Man, which I technically guess he would have been the Revolution He-Man, Whitney, I'm sorry, but still, I will say that we got the face, Mattel got the face right with this Skeletor. They just haven't quite got the face right on He-Man yet. But I do have a new He-Man head coming in that I ordered, a custom He-Man head that I think looks just about exactly the way it should have looked. That is pictured on his box. So I'll share that with you in the next video, God willing. But just take a look when we do Man at War. But just take a look at these. They are looking awesome. Battle Armor He-Man has his axe, which it looks small next to Skeletor's. Matter of fact, this Skeletor just looks big. We're going to measure him here in just a moment. But just take a look at that comparison. Let's look at them side by side right quick. No, I don't think Skeletor is necessarily taller. They look about the same height. He might have just a tiny smidgen just because of the little horns on the top of this helmet. But I will measure him here in just a moment. But just take a look at how excellent this looks. I love this He-Man, even though I don't like the head sculpt as much. And we'll be replacing that with a head that has this skin tone tomorrow. Should be coming in tomorrow. And then here is our awesome new Eternia Skeletor, which is my favorite, especially when you count the armor, the armored version of a Skeletor, battle armor in this case. Definitely my favorite. I still love this one, as I said, when it comes to the classic look, but I think I found a new favorite Skeletor overall. when you consider this armor. So I love, and the helmet and the head. I love it. He's just so cool. So let's measure him in, and then we'll take a look at him seated on the bone throne and see how he is able to handle that. All right, let's go ahead and measure him in. I'm going to look at it straight on here. He measures in at 7 5/8, which, so that's a little over 7.5 inches, 7 5/8. And so we can see how tall Skeletor is, and He-Man is basically 7.5 exactly. Well, no, he's about 7 1/4, 7 inches and 1/4, and Skeletor is over 7 inches, 7.5 inches, right at 7 5/8. So yeah, Skeletor is a little bit taller. That settles it because of the helmet. And there is our battle armor Skeletor sitting very nicely in the bone throne. No problem whatsoever. His feet are plugged in to the base, and he is looking phenomenal. And I believe these hands are the same color that came with our bone throne Skeletor. So, and they've got the same size peg. So you could peg those same hands in there and give him a little bit more of a natural look, you know, resting his hand on the arms of the throne there, kind of like we did with our other Skeletor that came with this. But yeah, he sits in there nicely, looks really good. He's seated, and he's sitting up straight, plenty of head clearance because of this tall, nice, you know, Skeletor designed height for the back of the throne. So everything's looking really nice. Did you see where I put the helmet? It rests on one of those soft bone pieces that protrudes up out of the base, which that's cool. And I even was able to lean that metal sword, the purple metal sword that came with our San Diego Comic-Con 2-pack Skeletor 40th anniversary right there, the metal one. And so he's just looking awesome. Let's go ahead and put his helmet on and see what he looks like seated on the throne with the helmet. There we go. Now you can see what he looks like on the throne with the helmet, looking wicked nice. Love it, love it, love it. And I went ahead and switched out his hands with the one that came with the bone throne, so you can see, you can get his hand flat against the arm there, and then this one more like a pointer finger, like he's just, you know, tapping on the armchair there. So he looks a little bit more natural now, I think. I like the way that looks. I'm pleased. Still got his Havoc staff back there in that section that holds it, and then the I believe it's called the Staff of Ka back there, which we got a smaller version of that for our Teela, Sorceress Teela, that we just reviewed. Check that out if you haven't already. Alright, I wanted to do a test here to see how our new Skeletor, Battle Armor Skeletor, looked with the head cowl that came off of Bone Throne Skeletor, because if you might remember, you could remove that so that he would be a bald Skeletor, and he has the articulated mouth, had the goofy teeth. It's supposed to be more like an Al-Qaeda head, as I said, but I took that off, and even though it is a bigger head on this new Eternia Battle Armor Skeletor, I was able to put it on there, even though also there's that chainmail covering on there. I mean, you'd really have to heat that up and literally peel that off, and I'm not sure it wouldn't mess up the head. I've not tried it, but I think it looks pretty decent. You can tell me what you think, but there you have the cowl that came off of this Skeletor, and he is now, or that one is now placed upon our new Skeletor, and I think it looks pretty good. Let's take a closer look at it here. Yeah, what do you think? You can still open his mouth a little bit, because there is a part underneath there. And kind of sit that head down a little bit further. I mean, it might work. I think it can work. And just out of curiosity, I want to take the helmet here. And let's go ahead and try putting that on top of our Bone Throne Skeletor here and see how that looks. I'll cover his eyes if you don't sit it just right. Okay. It kind of swallows up that head, almost covers up his eye, but I mean, if you wanted to do it, you could do it. But that looks cool. Just wanted to check that out right quick. And just in case you want to see a head swap, here is our Alcala head from the Bone Throne on our Battle Armor Skeletor. And then there is the Battle Armor Skeletor head with the chainmail and helmet on our Bone Throne Skeletor that we got there. So you can see, with a cape. So if you wanted to do that, you could. Definitely could do that. Looks cool. So you could swap them around for sure. Definitely. And that made me remember, I haven't shown you the Classics Battle Armor Skeletor, and I do have an Alcala head on that Skeletor. That's the way I like him. But check out the differences here. Very similar in the design of the chest armor. I think I like both that chest plate and this one. This one is a little bit more convincing. That one almost looks a little bit more cartoonish maybe as far as the chest armor signia itself in the middle, but I don't know, they both look good. That one has more of a frame around it, so it stands out a little bit more, but this one kind of blends in with the total motif a little better. Definitely like the addition of the shoulder armor that we didn't get on this one, of course. So there you have that. But let's go ahead and put his actual, the head he's supposed to have so you can get a true picture. And there we go. That's the head that he came with, of course. So you can see these two Battle Armor Skeletors side by side and really get a true picture of what they look like here next to each other. There's a comparison of the Battle Armor by Masterverse, New Eternia, and our Classic Skeletor with Alcala head Battle Armor Skeletor. Alright, there you have it, and thank you so much for joining us for this Super Dave review. Please come again and see us soon, as we'll be looking at Man at War, Duncan himself with his new cool suit, and we'll be inside of Castle Grayskull taking a look at him. So come on and join us, and hopefully we'll have that He-Man head. Thank you so much again. Be blessed. Here's some photos in the photo gallery.
Can you hear me? We could be legend. I have nothing to lose. Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. Wake up. I know what's real. Escape reality. Hardwired.